Welcome to Behind the Mic with AudioFile magazine. I'm Joe Reed, and I have Leslie Fine with me. She's a contributor to AudioFile, and she is going to be with me for the rest of the week. Hi, Leslie. How are you?
Hi, Joe. I'm doing very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine. Are you enjoying this summer heat?
In my own way, I guess I am getting up early to exercise and enjoying the evenings and staying out of the sun in the middle of the day.
I know the siesta or the riposo, as the Italians say, make perfect sense in the summertime.
It-
Up early, big nap, stay up late when it's cool.
Absolutely.
So, what are you listening to as you exercise?
Oh my goodness. This week I was inspired by casual conversations this week, and I have for us two novels to talk about, and a work. I'm going to call it a work of nonfiction, and then sort of an essay collection slash memoir. So I went for variety as I was getting out there in the early mornings, and they're all inspired by. I don't know if you've had this happen to you recently, but in 1 week, in just casual interactions with folks, I'd say, "How are you?" And they would say, "Oh, I'm okay, considering." And I thought, "Okay." The first time it happened, I thought, "Oh, I understand." The second, I'm like, "Wow, that's strange." The third time in a week, and I thought, "All right, I think, I want something that's going to be life affirming, something inspiring." I feel like I've gotten so many good things from books. So I thought, for audiobooks, I'm going to hunt around for something that will inspire us to say, "Oh, how am I doing? I'm doing well. I'm taking my life in hand." So that's what inspired my selections this week.
Excellent. Where are you beginning?
I'm starting off with a novel with a very, maybe a deceptive title. It's called I See You've Called In Dead. And it's read by Patrick Hopkins. And oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed this audiobook.
Now, John Kenney writes for The New Yorker. He's written novels and he does humorous poetry, and he has numerous humorous poetry collections. So, humor should factor into this because the title somehow doesn't inspire inspiration, if you know
No,
what I mean.
no, it doesn't. But oh my goodness, I can't recall the last time I laughed this hard, riding along in my car. I was lucky that I could listen to this in one sitting. I was on a long drive, and the drive flew by because I was laughing just uproariously the whole time.
Oh, that's what you want. That's absolutely what you want. And tell me a little bit about the book, and then I want to hear all about Sean Patrick Hopkins.
Oh, absolutely. So the book itself, so the title comes from, we have our protagonist. His name is Bud, and he writes for a newspaper, and he's an obituary writer. And he's going through some tough times, and just one night makes a few bad decisions, and he hits publish on his own obituary. He writes an obituary that in and of itself is completely hilarious. But he's sitting at home and he's crafting all of these outlandish things, and he hits that publish button, and it actually goes out and gets reprinted and picked up by different news sources. So the book itself is sort of the aftermath of this choice. Of course, his his employer isn't happy, and the people in his life aren't really happy to
To
read
find
this
out he's
obituary.
alive? No?
Well, that too was a little bit alarming for some people. We also kind of go back in time a little bit to sort of see how he got to this low place, and it seems like it might be this really down and out kind of a book, but it's not. I found it to be thought provoking because yes, he really is thinking about how he's been living his life and how he could do it better, but it never becomes really heavy, and the humor doesn't really it doesn't it's irreverent, but it's not disrespectful. It's not, thoughtless. I think it's really clever. And Sean Patrick Hopkins, what a delivery. I mean, the comic timing and the way he uses that great, just genuine tone of voice, he's phenomenal. He's perfectly matched to this novel.
Humor is
Right?
hard. It's just hard. I mean, because as you say, timing, the tone, that's everything. You miss that and it just it's like a souffle
Oh,
that
that's a great
falls.
comparison. It really is, and I did not find a single, flat note in this. I thought that the dialogue was incredible. You understood and you empathized with all the characters, and some of them, I found myself looking forward to, "Oh, I hope this scene has, this character in it. I can't wait to hear them interact," just because they were so real to me and real in a super special way. Folks you really wanted to spend time with.
And, and as we're talking, I'm remembering that John Patrick Hopkins narrated Gene Shepherd's In God We Trust, who also has a very quirky sense of humor. He wrote The Christmas Story that everybody watches every Christmas.
Oh, yes.
So, that kind of quirky humor. He really did a wonderful job with Shepherd's book too. So I think he does a lot of mysteries and thrillers as well as nonfiction and romance, but he really can do humor very well, I think.
Oh, he definitely shines here. I've got to the end and I wanted to start the book over because I enjoyed it so much.
So should we listen?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. Do you need to set this up?
This clip, we hear Bud kind of bringing the listener up to speed on the events that drove him to make that big mistake to accidentally publish his own crazy obituary.
Okay. This is I See You've Called in Dead by John Kenney, read by Sean Patrick Hopkins.
It had been about 2 years since my ex-wife left, another man, which I kind of thought was off the table with the whole married thing. She was able to secure an uncontested divorce in about 8 months, yay for her, and I needed to make a clean start. And so, the year had started, as years often do, with wide-eyed resolutions, illusions of a new life as if the turn of a calendar page, the drop of a ball, could somehow jumpstart a life in quicksand, change long-ingrained patterns. That's negative thinking, Bud. So said the books with the bold covers, colorful and confident, that promised radical transformation. Be the you that not even you will recognize. Happiness is daring you to grab it. Grab it! Everyone kind of thinks you suck. The self-help books did what self-help books often do, go largely unread. But they did act as a catalyst to begin making a list of things I would change, places I would go, hints of the person I would become.
Be the you not even you will recognize. If that is not a perfect self-help book, I have not heard it. And the conversational tone, that delivery, it's so perfect, just matter of fact. Talk about telling you something.
Oh, it's so great. I just enjoyed every minute of this audiobook. I truly do think I'm going to listen to it again just because I also feel like beyond just the humor and the laughs, and I'm sure there were many places where I was laughing and I missed other lines because I was laughing too loud. Beyond that, it really was inspiring. It really does make you think and just kind of appreciate everything that you have in your life. So I think it's great on both levels.
Well, I'm going to New York soon, driving with my dog, and I think I will be listening to this because God knows I'll need something to make me laugh as I'm trying to cross the George Washington Bridge.
I think it would be perfect for that.
Thank you. That is I See You've Called in Dead by John Kenney, read by Sean Patrick Hopkins. Okay, Leslie, thank you so much. We will talk tomorrow.
Sounds great. Thank you, Joe.
You're very welcome.
Support for today's episode comes from Night Watcher, a psychological thriller read by Will Collier and Helen Laser, with an exclusive author's note from Daphne Woolsencroft.
Don't forget to follow Behind the Mic wherever you get your podcasts, and please take a moment, leave us a rating. It really does help people to find us. I'm Joe Reed. I'll talk to you tomorrow.